morning and welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to make this lovely little wreath Christmas card, and to do that we're going to learn a wreath stamping technique with our stamping platform. So we're going to be using the Stampin Up Stamparatus today. So to make our card we're going to be using the Tag Buffet stamp set for the stamps. So we're going to be using this one here and the berries, and with the views from here as well. And we're going to be using the 'Tis the Season 6x6 papers. I've actually used most of this one, so I've not got a whole sheet left of that. But you get 12 different designs, so it's a really good variety pack, and you get 4 sheets of each one. So you can see there are some really nice designs in there. For this card we used a real red base with this lovely green checker pattern, and today we're going to be using a shaded spruce base with this red pattern. So for the card base I've just scored and folded a 10" by 5" piece of shaded spruce card in half to create a 5 by 5" card base, and this is a 4 3/4" piece of pattern paper that we're just going to glue on the top. So really simple there. So in order to make our wreath we need a stamp positioning tool. So I've got the Stamparatus. It actually comes with 2 of these stamping platforms, so one can go in there and one can go in there, so that if you're doing 2-step stamping or something and you want to do a lot, you can pull one down and then the other down. It comes with this foam pad inside. Mine's just got a little bit of powder on from where I've been doing some heat embossing. So you use it with this if you're going to use photopolymer stamps, as we're going to do today, and use it without it if you're going to use rubber stamps. And then you get these 2 really strong magnets on the back as well. So for our wreath I've created this template, and you can see I've used this lots of times before. You can create one and then use it lots and lots. So what you need to do to create this template is take the largest of the square layering dies. You could use a trimmer to do this if you wanted to as well, it'd just be a little bit more difficult. And you just need to place it in the centre of your piece of cardstock. And this one's 7 by 7", just to give you an idea. And you just want to place it in the middle of your cardstock this way, and then you want to place it again this way and run it through again this way. And you can just eyeball, when you've got this on, you can just eyeball to make sure each of these triangles is about the same size, to make sure you've got it in the right place. And then you get this template. And to use this template we're going to use a piece of Whisper White cardstock that's also been cut out with this die. So therefore it's going to fit perfectly in here. So I'm going to start off by placing this on the diagonal, and I'm going to take my leaf, and I'm just going to, my leaf stamp, and I'm just going to pop that there. And then I can pick it up with the top. So I'm just going to put my magnet on here to make sure the template stays in the same place. So you can also use this magnet to keep this piece in place. I don't always use it. I'm going to for now. Right, so just going to stamp that down. And I'm going to turn this round 90 degrees so that the next point is facing up. You don't want your 2 magnets to get too close to each other. If they start joining together then they can join together really hard and actually break. So just be really careful of that. Right, I'm just going to ink that up again because it wasn't a perfect impression. And the good thing about using Stamparatus is that you can then just keep on pressing it down until you're happy with the impression that you've got. So there we go, that looks lovely now. Not always be in the same place. Just ink it up again. See? Stamp that down. And the final quarter turn. And by doing this with the Stamparatus, you could do it by hand, but by doing it with the Stamparatus, it's a good way of knowing that it's all evenly played. You're going to get a nice impression. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one off and I'm going to bring in my berry stamp. So I'm going to put this like this. I'm just going to pop the berry on there between the two leaves and just pick it up on the top. There we go. And because we've put all our leaves in the same place, then we know the berry's going to be evenly spaced between them as well. So we'll just put that down there and then turn that round, ink it up, pop it down, and we'll just keep turning it a quarter turn until all the sides are done. And there's our lovely little wreath. Now we're just going to add our sentiment in the middle. So we can just line that up, make sure it's where we want it. Take our berries off. And we can do this. And because we've got some grid lines etched onto the platform, we can just make sure that it's nice and straight against those lines so that we can make sure that we have a really nice lined up sentiment. So I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to ink up the sentiment. This is our cute little wreath. So now we can just colour it. So I'm going to use my Stampin' blends. I'm going to use the dark and the light shaded spruce. I'm going to use dark poppy parade, and I'm going to use the light smoky slate. So I'm going to speed this up and I'll be back with you when I finish colouring. Absolutely just leave it like that, but I like to go round with the bullet end of my smoky slate and just give it a little bit of an outline. Just gives it a little bit of depth. our coloured piece. So all we're going to do now, I've got a piece of shaded spruce cardstock that's 1/4 inch bigger than our wreath piece. I'm just going to stick that on there. Then I'm just going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals, which are just double-sided foam pads, just to add this piece onto the main card. So there's our finished card. I'll just bring in the one I made before as well. So there's our project for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd really appreciate you clicking like below, and if you'd like to see future projects, you can also click subscribe. And just make sure to press the bell notification button so that YouTube notifies you when I've got a new video. All of the products that we've used for today's cards are linked in the description below. And there's also a host code in there, so if you pop that into your basket at checkout, I'll send you a free gift after the end of the month. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.